Alright, it's Antline Alpha, and here I am again. I didn't upload yesterday because during the time I would have normally recorded, I got distracted and watched the entire movie, The Hitcher, the original, on YouTube. But anyway, welcome back to Let's Play Gauntlet Legends. We're gonna go to a level called the Airship, because when I think town, I definitely think airship. Yes, the toxic airship. I mean, how else are you gonna commute to work in the morning? Yeah, but seriously, I don't understand why it's an airship. I mean, I probably wouldn't be questioning it, but there really haven't been any good reasons to call this world the town at all. We've seen a farm, a graveyard, and then this, like, castle spiral thing. And you cannot walk across this rope net thing, but you can walk across pretty much all the other ones you'll see in this level. And I guess so. I might end up having more potions than I can handle later on, so oh well. This thing looks like something from a train, but it is not, or maybe it is, I don't know. Yeah, this is, even though this level is, or this world really isn't what it claims to be, it's still my favorite world, and I still like this level. I mean, there's nothing wrong with an airship. I just don't see why it's in a world called town. But, while it's relevant, and it'll really probably only be relevant in this level, in this LP, I guess I'll go ahead and say that I really don't understand why people, because it's this level is a ship, it's relevant in like one small aspect, but anyway, I really don't see why people really hate on the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think Curse of the Black Pearl is the best one in the series. It's good, but I honestly prefer Dead Man's Chest, and maybe even, what's it called? On Stranger Tides, but I'll give it that At World's End was probably the lesser of all of them. But I think a lot of people are really hesitant to admit that On Stranger Tides was good just because it got rid of, like, a lot of the casts. But I mean, it went with the story because they kind of, like, got rid of them at the end of the last movie. But I mean, as long as I still have Jack Sparrow, that's all I really care about. It's not, I mean, I can understand why girls would be upset that Orlando Bloom was gone, and honestly, I can understand why guys would be upset why Keira Knightley was gone, but but yeah, if you look at, I don't know if IMDb is accurate, but if you look at, like, if you have like a TV guide, I used to get those, but they give movies reviews out of 4 stars. Curse of the Black Pearl has 3 out of 4, and On Stranger Tides has 3 out of 4, and then the other 2 in the middle have 2 out of 4. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people's deal is. I like Davy Jones as a villain. I like his animation. Honestly, I think, like, I've watched a lot of other movies that I used to think had really good CGI, and I've come to the conclusion that a lot of them aren't really that great. Like, I was even watching James Cameron's Avatar, and I never saw it in 3D, and I'm sure people aren't lying when they say it was really cool to see in 3D, but watching, like, the CGI on its own, it's not that impressive. People were upset that it didn't get like best visual effects of the year when what's it called, District 9 did, and honestly it earned that because the aliens looked far more real and blended in much better than the Na'vi did in Avatar. But honestly, I think the CGI, like for Davy Jones's face, like his squid face, I think is really believable. Some people might disagree with me, but I don't know. And wow, that was a long time I spent talking about that, sorry, but at least it was kind of relevant. Kind of. I stretch that word like taffy in a word taffy puller. But yeah, I'm gonna try to, whenever I get like off topic from the game, I want my commentary to at least be, even if very not much, I want it to be linked in some way to something that happens in the game, so I can kind of, I don't just like kind of say, I'm gonna talk about this right now because I feel like I want it to like make a connection first. So kill that thing before. Arrows, why don't you go over the generator when it's crushed? And this thing, do we have full of this now? I think so. Oh yeah, and I also had a dream last night. See, now I can actually make my talking about my dreams relevant because I'm gonna connect it to the game. I had a dream last night that I was watching someone else play this game, like doing an LP of it, and in the dream there was a 4-way shot, but to make things clear, there is in fact only 3-way shot and 5-way shot, and 1-way shot, but that's not an item. But yeah, also in my dream last night, you know how, I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but it's pretty much always been the same for me, but usually whenever I have a dream about something, even if it's something that could happen in real life, it like never does. And last night I had a dream that I made a really good milkshake in the morning, and for the first time in a long time, I made a milkshake this morning, but I do that a lot of mornings, and by morning I mean like a little bit past noon, because that's often when what time I wake up during these summer days. But so I kind of just had a tiny bit of lunch, which was like 3 Chewy bars, and then I made a milkshake, and for the first time in a long time it was not that great. And I have to give my dad credit for this because he taught me like the perfect milk, ice cream, chocolate syrup ratio to make really good milkshakes. So once I was allowed to use the blender, I pretty much made those whenever I could. But for some reason the ice cream was like in the freezer. I think it was because like our other freezer died. Like, we have a freezer inside, and then we have a bigger freezer in the garage, and that one kind of, like, died and lost power, so we had to get a new one. And so I think that tub of ice cream was in there, and it must have thawed, and then when it refroze, it kind of turned, like, flaky and not that great. So when I blended it with the other ingredients, it kind of came out really liquidy and not the good thickness that I have learned to perfect. So yeah, the dream thing came out accurate, where when it happens in the dream it doesn't happen in real life. But I guess it's, yeah, he's saying the same thing he always does, but I guess it's I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen, because I have in fact had dreams that have later turned out to play out in reality. And oh, I completely missed this when I was playing this off screen. But yeah, you can kind of see it's kind of like an airplane's point of view. Like when you look outside before the airplane gets above the clouds, you can see like the square like crop fields and stuff. So that's kind of a cool detail. But there's been other dreams I've had that have later, like, the events in the dreams have come true. I'm not gonna, there's There's one that happened recently, but there's like another one that I kind of forgot about. That's not really that impressive. But this other one, the other one I didn't actually think would ever happen, but it did. So I'm not gonna say what that is because it's kind of like, I don't want to say inappropriate, but it's just kind of a subject people wouldn't want to hear about it. From now on, every time I'm tempted to say something that's either controversial, and this isn't controversial by the way, or just like really off topic and wouldn't be really appropriate for the LP, I'm just gonna say, if you want to know what I was gonna say, ask me on Ask FM, because I can do that now. But try not to ask, I said this before, try not to ask me like LP / this channel in general, or even really video game questions, since I kind of want to still do a Q&A video before Ask FM makes doing that completely irrelevant. But yeah, if you want to know about that dream that came true, just ask me there. I've been getting... Oh, number of... Why does that keep surprising me? I should expect that, but... Death can always be surprising. I've been getting more and more of, like, people that are subscribed to me, asking me questions on that website. I've also been getting asked questions that I think are trolls, kind of, or just maybe not trolls, but just people. Is this supposed to rise? I couldn't figure out what if anything can make this rise, if there is, when I was doing this off screen, but oh well, it's probably just an item that would be helpful. I mean, I got the runestone, and I got all the obelisk, and I got the item to aid in the boss battle in the next segment, so I don't really need it, even though I might like it. Yeah. Anyway, game. It is. Speaking of sequels that a lot of people don't like that I do, I saw the original Hitcher, but I saw that after I saw the remake with Sean Bean, or Ben, or Bon, as I know it's not pronounced, but I want it to be because it rhymes with Sean and it has the same last 3 letters. But yeah, I did, for the record, I did not like the sequel, or not this, the remake, even when I saw it. It just wasn't satisfying. I did like the one gore scene, but I knew ahead of time that I don't want to spoil anything, so forget that actually. But yeah, I watched the original, and I thought it was a lot more competent than the remake, and I liked it, even though minor spoiler, not like plot point spoiler, but just a minor spoiler, so you're not disappointed. If you have, for some reason, seen the remake, but not the original like I did before seeing it, it does not show... It's pretty much for the most part, a shot-for-shot remake, but for some reason, like, the remake kind of takes away some of the good shots, but it pretty much keeps all the others, like, the good parts of the original. It just got rid of, like, the dialogue / character development scenes. But in the original, if you have seen the remake and haven't seen the original, it does not... It has something like the character tied to 2 ends of a truck scene. I'll spoil it right now, it doesn't show the gore in the original, which I guess... If you're a gore whore like I am, I guess that's a little disappointing, but honestly, it's not worth it to sit through the remake, because there's a lot of better movies with waist cut, split in half gore. But, getting back to where I started this thought, there is a remake, or not a remake, there is a sequel to the original that was made before the remake, and it stars the same actor, so that's good. Well, I won't spoil it, but he is in it. C. Thomas Howell, who was in the original, he's back in the sequel. But the villain is different, and I guess a lot of people didn't like the villain. They didn't buy him as a villain because it's starring Jake Busey, and he's in a lot of B movies. But honestly, I really liked the sequel. I actually saw the sequel a long time ago when I was pretty young, and who knows, maybe I wouldn't like it as much as if I saw it again. But I watched it several times, and I remember very clearly hating a lot of movies, B movies that I saw even as a kid. So, yeah, a lot of people didn't like The Hitcher 2. I've been waiting, but I did. Maybe I'm just a thing that likes things. So, anyway, we'll be starting the Ice World next, so you got that. I'm not a huge fan of snow worlds in any video game. I still like these levels, but they're not my favorite. But a lot of people do like snow levels, so look forward to that. And look forward to possibly more on-topic commentary. So, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Sorry if you heard the chair squeak. Bing, bang, goodbye.